This question, which is based on the concept of men into days into hours. So as per this question, there are certain number of men who complete the work in 6k days. So suppose we have number of men A and they are able to complete the work in 6k days. As we have not been given the number of hours, so we will solve the question just by using number of men and days. So question further says that these number of men have been increased, so now they are able to complete the work in 5k days. So now number of men suppose are B, okay, and we have to find out the value of B so that we can calculate the percentage increase. So B is equal to A into 6k upon 5k, 6k upon 5k. So which is A into 6 upon 5. So value of B is equal to 6 upon 5 times of A, that is 1 plus 1 upon 5, and this is the increment. That is earlier we had number of men A, now we have A plus A upon 5, and this increase is equal to 20% of the original number. So correct answer is option C, that is 20%. Now this question, which is based on the concept of order of working is given or create the order of working. So as per this question, there are three persons X, Y and Z. X can complete the work in 6 hours. Y can complete the work in 8 hours. Z can complete the work in 8 hours. So efficiency of X will be 16.66% per hour. Efficiency of Y will be 12.5% per hour. Efficiency of Z will be 12.5% per hour. Now question further says that only one person at a time can work in each hour and nobody can work for 2 consecutive hours. So here order of working is not given. So we have to create the order of working as per the conditions given in the question. Question says that only one person at a time can work in each hour. So for example, say in the first hour, if X is working, then Y and Z will not work. That is, in any particular hour, either X will work or Y will work or Z will work. Any two of them or all of them together cannot work in any particular hour. Okay, only one person will work in any particular hour. Then question further says that nobody can work for 2 consecutive hours. So suppose in the first hour X is working, then in the second hour X will not work because nobody can work in consecutive hours. So here either Y will work or Z will work. So suppose Y has worked in second hour, then in the third hour Y will not work. So here X will work or Z will work. This is what we mean when question says that nobody can work for 2 consecutive hours. Then question further says that all are engaged to finish the work. That is, we can't employ only 1 or 2 person to complete the work. We have to use all the 3 person. Then question further says that what is the minimum amount of time that will be taken to complete the work. So for the minimum amount of time, we need to employ that person who has maximum efficiency most of the time. So here X has the maximum efficiency. So to complete the work in minimum amount of time, we will employ or use the person X most of the time. Then only our time to complete the work will be minimum. Okay, so now let's create the order of working. So suppose in the first hour of working we have employed X, then in the second we can't employ X. Here we will either employ Y or Z. As in the question efficiency of y and z is same, so we can employ anyone, either y or z, answer will not change. Okay, so here again in the third R we can employ x, then in the fourth we can't employ x, so here you can use y or z since we have to use everyone. So let's say here we have employed z. Again in the fifth R we can employ x, then again in the sixth we can employ y or z, so say y. So up to sixth R the amount of work we have completed, let's calculate. 3 times we have employed x, and x does 16.66%, so 3 times of 16.66% is 50%, and 3 times we have used y, z and y, that is 12.5% into 3, which is 37.5%. So total work up to 6th hour we are able to complete is 50% plus 37.5%, which is 87.5%. So remaining work will be 12.5%. Now to calculate this remaining work, you can employ anyone among the x, y, z, but we have to complete the work in minimum amount of time. And in the 6th hour we have not employed x, so in the for the remaining work we can employ again x, so that we are able to complete the work in minimum amount of time. So for this remaining work we will employ x, and efficiency of x is 16.66, so time taken will be work divided by efficiency. This is work and this is efficiency, so this comes 3/4. Those who are not good in calculation, for them 12.5% is same as 100 upon 8, and this is 100 upon 6, and this is nothing but 6 upon 8, which is 3/4. So 3/4 of 1 hour is what? 45 minutes. So total time till here 6 hours, and in this remaining work 45 minutes. So total time 6 hours plus 45 minutes. This is our answer. So correct option is option C. So now this question, which is based on the concept of HCF. So there are two numbers 421 and 427. They are divided by the same number, and after division we get the same remainder, that is 1, and we have to find out all such divisors. As we have to find out all such divisors, so obviously we have to find out the SCF of these two numbers. But 421 and 427, divisor is something which will divide these numbers completely or perfectly, but here we get 1 as a remainder. So for perfect division or complete division, we have to subtract 1 from these numbers. So the final number we will get is 420 and here 426. So these are the numbers which will be completely divisible by their SCF, and these are the numbers when we will divide by the same divisors, we will get 1 as a remainder. So to get the right answer, we have to find out the SCF of these two numbers 420 and 426. Difference between them is 6. So 6 is something which will divide 420 also and 426 also. but 6 can be written as 2 into 3. So one such number is 6, which will divide 420 and 426. 2 is another number, 3 is another number. So total numbers we have, or total divisors we have, are 2, 3 and 6. So total number of such divisors we have 3. Now this question, which is based on the concept of finding the common factors between any given numbers. So here can X has petrol 399 liters and can Y has diesel, which is 532 liters. Then question further says that they are to be bottled in bottles of equal size. This term equal size indicates here that this question might be asking us to find out the SCF of these two numbers or these two quantities of petrol and diesel, but second condition required to find out the SCF is missing, which is that equal parts should be minimum in number. So we don't have to find out the SCF. Then question further says that so that whole of petrol and diesel would be separately bottled. Whole of petrol and diesel means what? That the required sizes of bottles would be their factors, and that too common. Okay, so now we have, our task is to find out the common factors of these two numbers. So we can write 339 as 133 into 3, then again 7 and 19 and 3. Same way 532 can be written as 266 into 2, 133 into 2 की power 2, and this again can be written as 7 and 19. So this is 2 to the power 2. So common factors are here 7 and 19. So total number of common factor, total numbers of common factors will be, their power is 1 1 1, here 1 1, so 1 plus 1 and 1 plus 1, that is 2 into 2, which is 4. So how many different bottle sizes are possible? 4. What are those sizes? If question asks us, they will be 1, 7, 19 and 133. Okay, now this question is based on the concept of prime numbers. So as per this question, we have been given 3 prime numbers x, y and z, which are less than 10, and we know that there are 4 prime numbers which are less than 10. They are 2, 3, 5 and 7. They are less than 10. Question further says that S is the sum of these given prime numbers x, y and z. So as per question, we have been given 3 prime numbers, but in reality we have 4 prime numbers which are less than 10. So out of these 4 prime numbers, we have to select 3 prime numbers. So case 1 is when we select 2, 3 and 5. This is the case first. Case second is when we select 2, 3 and 7. Same way, case third is when we select 2, 5 and 7. Case fourth is when we select 3, 5 and 7. So in the first case, S will be 10. In the second case, S will be 12. In the third case, S will be 14. And in the fourth case, S will be 15. Now read the statements given in the question. Statement 1 says that unit digit of S can be 0. Yes, in case 1 we have unit digit as 0. So statement 1 is correct. Statement 2 says that unit digit of s can be 9. In all these 4 cases we don't have unit digit as 9. So statement 2 is incorrect. Statement 3 says that unit digit of s can be 5. Yes, in fourth case we have unit digit as 5. So statement 1 and 3 are correct. So answer choice C is our right answer. Now this question is based on the concept of remainder theorem. In the question we have been given the expression triple 2 की power triple 3 plus triple 3 की power triple 2, and we have to check if this expression is completely divisible by the numbers given among the answer choices. Okay, and from the remainder theorem we know that if any number divides certain expression completely, then in that case we get final remainder as 0. And in the answer choices we have been given divisors 2, 3 and 37. So let's check one by one. So first we will check for 2. In case of 2 we don't even have to divide this expression. We can check divisibility by just checking even or odd. So first number is, or first expression is even, second is odd, so final number will be an odd number. And we know that if we divide any odd number by 2 we will never get remainder as 0. So for 2 this expression is not divisible. Okay, now let's check for 3. We know that to check the divisibility of any number from 3 we divide the sum of the digits of number by 3. If that sum is divisible, then that number is also divisible. So from triple 2 we get 6, so obviously it is divisible. From triple 3 we get 9, this one is also divisible. So final number will also be divisible by 3. So obviously this expression is divisible by 3. Now in case of 37, if you are smart enough you can easily eliminate answer choices. That see the second answer choice, it says by 3 and 37 but not 2. Okay, only one option has but not 2. If you are not smart enough, then let's check for 37 also. Triple 2, if we divide triple 2 by 37, so 37 goes 6 times and gives us triple 2. So triple 2 is completely divisible by 37. Same way triple 3, this one is also divisible by 37 completely, it goes 9 times. So obviously from here also we get remainder 0, from here also we get remainder 0. So final remainder is 0. So this expression, this one, is also divisible by 37. So answer choice B is correct. Okay, so now this question is based on the concept of digit game, and x is a 2-digit number. Say A and B are the digit of x. Okay, so value of x will be 10A plus B. Y is a 2-digit number which forms by interchanging the digits of x. So BA. So value of this will be 10B plus A. Sum of x and y will be 11A plus 11B, which is 11A plus B. As per the question, this is equal to 99 because greatest 2-digit number is 99. So 11A plus B equal to 99. So A plus B will be equal to 9. So now we know that a plus b is equal to 9 and x is a b. So from this expression we will try to find out the all possible values of a and b. So here we write a and here we b, and we know that a and b, sum of a and b will be equal to 9. So if a is 9, then b will be 0. 8 1 7 2 6 3 5 4 4 5 3 6 2 7 1 8. Okay, and value of a can't be 0. Why? Because if value of a becomes 0, then x will not be a 2-digit number. Okay, so beyond 1 it is not possible. Same way, if we interchange a b, then we get ba. This also is a 2-digit number, but in this case if we interchange, this will become 09, which is not a 2-digit number. So this case is also not valid. So total cases we have from 1 to 8 cases. So our answer is option D, because we have 8 possible values of x. Okay, now this question is based on the concept of odd and even. So p, q, r and s are positive integers, all are different, and p, q are odd, and r and s are even. Okay, now on the basis of this information, we have to check the validity of these statements. So first statement is p minus r का whole square into qs. So p is odd, r is even. So odd minus even will give us odd, and square of that will give us odd. From here q is odd and s is even. Odd into even is even. Then again this odd and this even after multiplication will give us even. So statement 1 is correct. Same way statement 2 says that q minus s and q square s. So q is odd, s is even. So odd minus even will give us odd. Q is again odd, so square of it will be odd. S is again even, so odd minus even will give us even. Then again this even and this odd. Final result after multiplication will give us even. So statement 2 is also correct. Now statement 3, q plus r का whole square and p plus s. Q is odd, r is even, p is odd, s is even. So here odd plus even will be odd, square of that will be odd. This odd plus even will give us odd, and odd into odd, final result will be odd. So statement 3 is also true. So all of them are true. So D is correct option. This question is based on the concept of number thinking. We know that in a band of 100 from 0 to 99, we write each digit 20 times. So obviously because in the book we start from 1, and in this question this goes up to 260. So this band will be from 0 to 99, but in the book it will start from 1 obviously. So we will write 5 as 20 times. Same way in a band of 100 to 199, again we will write 5 as 20 times. Okay, then from 200 to 260 we have to calculate how many times we have written 5s. So at the unit place it will be at 205, then 215, 225, 235 and 245. At tens place it will be at 250, and from 250 up to 259. So this will be 10 time, and this will be 5 time. So total 15. So 15, and this is 40. So 40 plus 15, total 55. So option A is correct. Now this question, which is based on the concept of odd even numbers, or you can solve this question also by using the remainder theorem. So first we will use even odd concept. So this expression is 32 की power 5 plus 2 की power 27. So from here also we get an even number. From the second expression we get even number. Sum will give us an even number. So an even number will be completely divisible by an even number, not by odd number. So from the given answer choices, only one answer choice C has even number 10. Rest of the choices have odd numbers as a divisor. Okay, so answer choice C will be our answer, because an even number will be divisible by an even number. Okay, so question is solved. But if you want to use remainder theorem, you can use it, but that method will be lengthy, very lengthy. I can show you just for one answer choice. Let's see for 3. So 32 की power 5 plus 2 की power 27. So if this expression is divisible by 3, then final remainder will be 0. So from 32 की power 5, what we can write it? 30 plus 2 की power 5, and this as 2 की power cube and 9. From here we will get 2 की power 5, and from here 8 की power 9. From here 2 की power 5 32. So obviously from here we will get remainder 2, and from here we can write 8 as 9 minus 1. So from here we will get remainder minus 1, because power is odd. So 2 minus 1 will be 1 plus 1. So plus 1 is the remainder. So obviously this expression will not be divisible by 3. If this had been 0, then obviously this expression would have been divisible by 3. Okay, so this expression is not divisible by 3. Same way you can check for 7, and another is 11. In both these cases you will get certain remainders, but in case of 10 you will not get any remainder. So this method is very lengthy, so please don't use it. Apply even odd. Okay, this question, which is based on the concept of number thinking. So there are two integers p and q. They satisfy this condition that p is always less than q. Then it says that p plus q is equal to k. Question asks us what is the smallest value of the k for which we don't have unique value of p and q. So we have to go through from options. See, if k is 3, then as per this condition, q will be 2 and p will be 1. Okay. So for this value of k, we have a unique value of p and q. So this is not our answer, because it says that what is the smallest value of k that does not determine value of p and q uniquely. But here, for this value of k, we can determine value of p and q uniquely. Okay. For 4, now let's check for 4. If value of k is 4, then we can write this as 3 and 1. Okay, and this satisfies this condition also, that value of q is less than greater than p. Okay, if we write it as 2 plus 2, then also we will get 4. But here this condition does not satisfy. So here this is not possible. So in case of 4 also, we can uniquely determine the value of p and q. So this is also not our answer. Okay. Now for the value of 5. So if value of k is 5, if value of k is 5, then we can write q as 4 and p as 1. Sum will be 5, and here 4 is greater than 1. Same way we can write it as 3 and 2. Here also we will get 5, and q is greater than p. Okay. So here we have got two answers of p and q. So for this answer, we can see that we cannot determine value of p and q uniquely. So this is our answer, because next answer choice is 6. So even if it is true for 6 also, then also we have been asked smallest value. So 5 will be a smallest value. So 5 is our answer. You can check for 6 also, because we can write 6 as 5 and 1, 4 and 2. Next is 3 and 3. But this is not possible, because value of q has to be greater than value of p. So these two are possible. Here also we cannot determine value of q and p uniquely. So this is also correct, but question asks us smallest value of k. So smallest value among the given answer choices is 5. So option C is our answer. So this question is based on the concept of finding the number of zeros in any given product. The expression we have been given is 1 की power 2, 2 की power 4, 3 की power 6, 4 की power 8 and 5 की power 10 and so on up to 25 की power 50. So in this expression, we can observe that powers are moving in even numbers and with the gap of 2. Okay. We know that to find out the number of zeros, we have to find out 2 and 5, because the product of 2 and 5 gives us 1 0. Okay. So by finding the number of 2's and 5's, we can find out the number of zeros in any given expression. Okay, or in any given product. So our task is now to find out the power of 5 here and the power of 2 here. Okay. And one more observation we can have here is that in this expression, that the power of 2 will be greater than the power of 5. So we don't need to find out the power of 2, because obviously power of 2 is more than the power of 5. So from the power of 5 itself, we can determine the number of zeros. Okay. So our task is now to find out the power of 5. So in this expression, where can we find 5? 1 will be at 5 with the power of 10. Another we will get 5 at 10, and here power will be 20. Same way at 15 power will be 30, at 20 power will be 40, and at 25 power is 50. Okay, so from here we get power of 5 10. From here we get power of 5 20, because we can write 10 as 5 into 2 power 20. So from here we will get power of 5 as 20. Same way here we will get 30 power, and here we will get 40, and here we will get 100, because 25 is same as 5 square, so power will be 100. So total number of powers of 5, 10 20 30 30 60 and 40, this is 100, and this 100 will become 200. So total number of powers of 5 is 200. So total number of zeros will be also the same, 200. So correct option is answer D. Okay, now this question is based on the concept of cyclicity of numbers. So expression we have been given is 30 की power 30. We can write 30 as 3 into 10 की power 30. We can write it as 3 की power 30 into 10 की power 30. So from 10 की power 30 we will get zeros, but from 3 की power 30 we will get numbers. Question asks us rightmost digit preceding the zeros. So we will get the rightmost digit from this expression. Okay, and the rightmost digit means the unit digit in this expression. So our task is now to find out the unit digit in 3 की power 30. Okay, so now we know that cyclicity of 3 is 4, because 3 की power 1 gives us 3 at unit place, 3 की power 2 gives us 9 at unit place, 3 की power 3 gives us 7 at unit place. Same way 3 की power 4 gives us 1 at unit place. After that this repeats. Okay, so cyclicity of 3 is 4. So we can write this expression 3 की power 30 as 3 की power 28 into 3 square. So from 3 की power 28, as the cyclicity of 3 is 4, so we will get here unit digit as 1. And from here 3 की power 2 we will get at unit place 9. So finally we will have at unit place 9. So rightmost digit preceding the zeros will be 9. So option D is our